Hi there, De-Crypt again with you with another video. It's been a while since I made a video. Two reasons for that. Had a lot of kids in the house, school holidays and everything else. It ain't quiet enough to do that. There's just too much noise. And secondly, we've had a pretty quiet market and on a downtrend still. There just hasn't been any real news or anything significant happening that I can say, hey, look what's happening. But somebody pointed something out to me over the weekend that has proved itself to be correct, and I thought I would share this with you today. It's something very interesting regarding the price of Bitcoin during the week and over weekends, which proves something to me. But firstly, I want to just show you the Bitcoin chart as opposed to the what they call the Wall Street cheat sheet. And this is it right here. Now, if I put this Wall Street cheat sheet, let me just make this a little bit smaller. There we go. I'll put that there next to the Bitcoin chart. Now, that's a 4-hour chart on the Bitcoin chart, and that's over the basically the lifespan of Bitcoin. You can't see right to the beginning, but it's all I need to show you. It's all of the chart that I need to show you. What you see here is, or at least on the cheat sheet, is a complete market cycle, as they call it, from start all the way up, coming down again, and then to the beginning of the next cycle. Now, if you compare what you see on that cheat sheet to the Bitcoin chart, I've done this once before with you guys, and I thought, well, maybe we were on the beginning of the next cycle. I'm not so sure anymore after what I've seen on the weekend. Anyway, you will see the beginning, the rise to the top is pretty plain and simple to see, except for this little spike here, which doesn't show on the cheat sheet. But it's basically the same rise, same everything, same to the top, and then we have the sudden drop off, and then the slight rise, which is identical to this on the cheat sheet, and then we go on a steady decline. Now, the interesting part is, if you have a look at these two dips on the cheat sheet, you could say it's these two. I don't know if it's correct or appropriate to compare the two charts so precisely or so carefully to each other. I'm sure you could have just one dip. I don't think there has to be two, but I would count this as one anyway. Let's just say there only needs to be one. I would count this as one. And then you have this slight rise, and let's count these two dips in the cheat sheet as one, and then after the dip you have a slight rise and a steady decline rather to a low which was lower than the dip on the downline or downtrend from the peak. Now, we are at the moment very close to the lows of that trough right down there, the bottom of that candle wick. Whether we're going to get there or not, I don't know. I suspect we might, but after what I saw on the weekend, I'm not so sure. You see, there's the low point is right there, and it shows pretty pronounced. It's a decent sized dip and straight out of the dip, and we haven't had anything like that in our Bitcoin chart yet, which I think might still be coming. So I think we might still be getting lows to slightly lower than the low of this trough right here. I think we might still touch on, or just drop below, hopefully not drop below, because if we drop below the 236 of the Fibonacci retracement, I think we might see a bit more of a drop than we anticipated. We're hoping not. I'm hoping that if we are still waiting for a dip before the next cycle starts, I'm hoping to see lows no lower than, well, what's the value here? This little chart is in the way. 5,414, which is pretty low. I'm hoping it doesn't break that mark. My Fibonacci retracement is based on the peak at its highest point and basically an average of Bitcoin at the beginning. Right in the beginning, the Bitcoin price was such a fine ripple, you can't really, I didn't take it from zero, but I basically centered it on all of the ripple before the main rise started, before ripple really started to get any value. So basically you can say almost from zero. So that is the Fibonacci retracement is based on the life cycle of Bitcoin as a whole at the moment. I'm hoping we don't break the 236 line, but I think we might just touch on it or test it. And I think that if we do get this dip before the next market cycle starts, I think we might just get a dip down to the 236. I don't think it'll last very long, and then I think we're going to start on the incline or the bull rise. If we don't get it, I think by what I'm going to show you now, what happened on the weekend, I think we might have hit the bottom now and probably are starting the next market cycle. I just want to change to a 1 hour candle here. Sorry, a 1 hour chart. It is 1 hour candles anyway. Let's just get it in here. Where are we? Okay. Right, we have the Bitcoin chart. I just want to make this slightly smaller so that we can see the peak. As you can see on the chart here, we've got the main peak up to off the screen to the top left, and we've come all the way down to this trough right here. We made a little bit of an improvement in the price. The price came up a little bit, and then we had a bit of a retracement with some consolidation down here. But if you look at this section over the last week, this little bit of consolidation basically ended on Friday, or rather Saturday morning, as soon as people woke up and started trading. And then we had these nice rises, a nice rise, a little bit of consolidation, nice rise, slight retracement, obviously people taking some profits, then another rise, a little retracement, and another rise. And this big retracement going down to almost the levels of the previous week is Monday morning. Yesterday morning, as soon as the markets opened, the price came straight down. Now, what this means to me is the reason the price rose on Saturday morning is the crypto exchanges stay open basically 24/7, but the big money investors, Wall Street, only trade 9 to 5 days a week. So on that Saturday morning, they were closed and they were not trading. What this means to me is, how I interpret this chart, is that the big investors, Wall Street, and all the big money that is getting involved in crypto now is starting to maybe gain slight control of the price. They are definitely manipulating it. They've kept it low during the weeks, and when they are not trading and the market is left to us individual private traders, we see a natural upward swing in the price. Come Monday morning, when they get back to the office, comes the trading floor opens, boom, the price drops straight down, or in this case not quite as low as the previous week, which I'm going to discuss now, but it drops straight down, and we're basically in a consolidation mode again. And I'm going to stick my neck out and say, for this week we won't see sharp rises like we did over the weekend, but we'll probably see a steady, very slight incline or increase in price until the weekend, and then we're going to see a slight price hike again. But now the interesting thing is that the price rise started on Saturday morning and ended basically Monday morning. Now, the price dropped on Monday morning, but not to the levels that it started at on Saturday morning, which tells me that although they're bringing the price down and manipulating it down, probably, they're not quite bringing it down to the previous week's levels. Now, we'll wait until and see what happens on Monday morning next week, but if my theory is right, we're going to see a slight rise, very slight rise during the week, maybe a few ups and downs, but nothing major. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see something like this again, hopefully. And Monday morning, it's going to drop. But I'm willing to bet that it's not going to drop as low or lower than the levels it did on Monday, which is basically there at 6,787. I would imagine we'll probably drop to around 6,880, 6,900 by next week, Wednesday, unless something drastic happens and the market just takes off. This is just a theory. I'm trying to prove the theory. It wasn't, I didn't come up with the idea. It was actually shown to me over the weekend by a friend, but it makes perfect sense. And he actually showed it to me on Saturday, and he said, watch Monday morning, the price is going to drop, and it did. So his theory has been proven right, and I want to see if this is now going to become a trend going forward. Very interesting, something to keep an eye on. But I just want to bring up the cheat sheet again. So to sum up, I think we are either past this point here, the lowest point, which would have been that one there, or maybe this little dip here, and now we are making the turn to start the next market cycle. That's just a theory. I don't think we have to have this major dip so prominent, but this is the cheat sheet. No chart is ever going to look identical to that, so it also depends on what resolution you're looking at it. I think we are making this turn at the bottom anyway. We are definitely somewhere in this piece here, and that puts us very close to the next market cycle. And as you can see from the beginning of a cycle, it doesn't take long before it starts to become pretty steep and head for the top. I think that is where we're going within probably the next week or two. But you're going to see a slight increase in price from now on every day. From start of market to end of market, I think there will be an increase in price. Maybe not every single day, but I think that is where we're going. Just a short video just to keep you informed. But as soon as I know anything, I will let you know. On the Dignity token front, I haven't heard any news yet. They did promise us that the exchange would be opening on, or rather during the first 2 weeks of April. We are now basically into the second week, so we are expecting big things to be happening any day now. I did notice over the weekend already that all the other tokens, the Honor token, the Retic token, and the Namaste token have already, they must have been doing some testing. There were some buy orders, sell orders. The price is sky high, and I think they've set that like that on purpose so that people don't go and buy. They must be just, they are live. I'm sure if you wanted to pay the prices that they're showing now, you could probably put in an order and buy some. I wouldn't try. I think they set those prices high like that so that people don't go and buy. They're obviously just testing. I've had no email or news from my group that I belong to that anything has taken place or anything is formally started now. But I'm expecting that to happen any day now. I can definitely see that things are happening. There is movement. There are things happening. So the Dignity token, I haven't checked today. I'm not sure what they are trading at, but I think they're somewhere around 6.5 cents, between 6.5, 6.7 cents per token. We are hoping that as soon as the exchange goes live with all their added benefits and everything else, we're hoping that the Dignity token at least is going to have one of these meteoric rises in price like Bitcoin had over December last year. And I'm hoping for at least within a month, at least a dollar value. And I got in at a mere fraction of a cent per token, so I can't wait. As soon as I hear any news from the Arbitrade crowd, I'm going to make another video, and I think we are going to see some big things happening, at least I'm hoping by the end of the week, but this month definitely, I'm pretty sure. That's me signing off. Let's go out there and make some money.